Hello and welcome to another Beard Clipper video. If you are not yet a subscriber and yet you enjoy my content, please do consider subscribing. I really do appreciate that. And don't forget to ding that bell and select all so that whenever one of my videos goes live, YouTube does tell you about it. Now this is another short video I'm going to do as I'm going away on business very shortly for a couple of weeks and I'm packing up my hobby stuff. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to show you what I'm going to take and maybe start a discussion about the sort of things that you've taken before. If you've ever been away for business or maybe it's a holiday and you take your hobby stuff on holiday even. It'd be really interesting to hear your thoughts and comments on what I'm taking and how I'm managing this problem. So let's point the camera down at what I'm going to take and go through it and see what I am doing. What you see here is everything which I am going to be taking. So let's go through this. First of all, I am taking one of my cooling racks. Now the reason I'm going to take that is I'm really aware of damaging the hotel I'm staying in, and that will mean that I can put down things that are painted and not risk damaging and transferring the paint. And the second thing is also that I have an A4 cutting mat which I take with me. That fits in quite nicely, not a problem. I'm taking only miniatures. I'm not taking any terrain. And that's the first thing to say. Do you take terrain or do you only take miniatures when you go away? How have you found making terrain? My concern is that I'll damage it transporting it back, and I don't really want to have to post things, which is actually what I did when I was in Belgium when I was away before. I actually ended up posting stuff and that worked okay, but I don't really want to do it having only been away for 2 weeks. So what I'm doing is I'm taking miniatures, and I'm also limiting what I'm taking. I'm actually going to now, today, prime all the miniatures that I'm going to take, and I've glued together and I've done all of the gluing that I need to do as well. So all I'll have to take is my base paints and shades and those sorts of things. I won't have to take the primer and I won't have to take any glue. So that means I'm halfway through this, and I just thought I'd film now before I finish it. So I'm taking everything that I want to paint out of its blister pack, and I'm putting it into a baggie, so that each miniature will have its own baggie, which will act as a protector from being chipped when I'm bringing it back at the end of the day. And you can see that they fit down in between the paints in this box quite nicely, so they are pretty stable. I've picked this up and shook it quite hard and nothing moved. So I will now go through the rest, put all of these into baggies, make sure I've got enough, and then I'll be going down to prime them so that they're all done in time for me to travel. On top of that, I'm taking some of these little clips. This is just third hands and to help me as I'm painting, and they fit in quite nicely, as you can see, slotting down between the paints. I'm not going to take them all out because I can't be bothered to put them all back in again. I'll just remove those, because I'm also taking my ASoIAF paintbrush rack, and at the back I have 3 paintbrushes that I'm taking: an older one, a new ASoIAF, and a new cheap brush, just so I've got enough. In here, very, very tiny, let's see if I can get them out. Yep, I am also taking the remaining Joan of Arc 15mm models, which I need to paint so that I can play that scenario, and that's actually the priority to get done. And also tucked away around the back and around the sides are some on slightly larger bases, and they fit in very nicely between the paint pots as well. So we've got a few here and a few here. I'm taking my ASoIAF brush cleanser and conditioner, because I want to keep my brushes nice. I have some Citadel washes because they're great, and then I've gone through and I've selected all the paints that I think I'm going to need, and because this is a Vallejo paint box, which is the final thing to say about this, they are really secure and I'm really happy. Now this is the thing that I would like to also highlight. I'm getting everything that I'm taking, apart from potentially the metal rack, inside this Vallejo paint pot, so it's not going to take up very much space in my bag. It might weigh a little bit and I need to watch out for the weight, but it's a really good idea, and I don't know if anyone else does this, if anyone else uses these Vallejo boxes in this way, but I've done it now a couple of times and I found it to be a really efficient way of transporting a lot of stuff without risk of it getting damaged. And the last thing that I'm going to take, which again is not going to fit inside that, having said everything will, is my goggles, because I'm going to be painting 15mm miniatures. I'm going to need that. So there we are. That's what I'm taking. A couple of cameras, not this big one. I will be trying to film while I'm there. Not sure whether I'll be able to upload anything, but I'll be trying to film and do some painting tutorials and what have you. And that's it. So yeah, quick video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your input, to hear your stories about your modelling on the road. So please drop them in the comments below so that everyone can share, not just in where I share it over on Facebook, but please comment in the YouTube. That's the best place for comments. And yeah, I will hopefully be updating you on my trip and telling you how it's going and showing you what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll be able to get my vlogs out on a Sunday. But if not, then I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and then I'll obviously have a load of videos to share. So I'll wrap that up now. I'll thank you very much for watching, and I will wish you the best and hope that you stay healthy, you stay safe, and you stay well.